Have you ever reached a goal only to feel strangely empty once you held it in your hands? You told yourself, if I just get this job, this relationship, this recognition, I will finally be at peace. And then, after the first rush faded, the same restlessness returned. It is almost as if the finish line kept moving farther away, no matter how hard you ran. What if the problem is not you, and not even the goal, but the direction of the search itself? Tonight, we will turn inward and ask a deeper question. What do I truly want? Not the surface answer that changes with time, but the root longing beneath every desire, the one that never goes away. Stay close, because what you will hear may shift the way you look at every choice you make from this moment on. When we begin to ask the question, what do I truly want? We start to uncover the root of human longing. Most of the time, our lives are filled with surface desires. We want the new job, the new car, the new home, the new relationship. We want recognition, we want security, we want comfort. These desires are not wrong. They are part of being human. But notice how quickly they shift. You achieve one, and soon another rises. You satisfy one, and another takes its place. It is like drinking from the ocean. The more you consume, the more thirsty you become. The cycle never ends until you pause long enough to look beneath it. Ask yourself, when you say, I want money, what do you truly want? It is not the paper bills. It is the sense of safety and freedom you believe they bring. When you say, I want love, what do you truly want? It is not just another person's presence. It is the warmth, the belonging, the intimacy, the recognition of your worth. When you say, I want success, what do you truly want? It is not the applause or the title. It is the joy, the satisfaction, the affirmation that your life matters. Every surface desire points deeper to qualities of being, not objects of possession. But we forget this, and in forgetting, we chase endlessly. We believe the joy is in the object, not in the awareness that receives it. We believe the peace is in the circumstance, not in the state of being. This confusion drives the restlessness that fills modern life. People are busy, but unfulfilled. People achieve, but still feel empty. People surround themselves with more, yet hunger remains. The deeper truth is that what we truly want cannot be given or taken by objects. It can only be revealed in awareness. Take a breath now and imagine your deepest longing satisfied not by an external object, but as a feeling within. Imagine yourself free, loved, safe, alive. Feel how the body relaxes, how the mind softens. Notice that this state is not dependent on anything outside. It is here, in this moment, waiting to be recognized. This is the secret that the wisdom traditions have always pointed to. The kingdom you seek is within you. The freedom you long for is your nature. The joy you chase is your birthright. Still, does this mean you should abandon all goals, all ambitions? Not at all. The point is not to reject desire, but to see it clearly. Desires are like signposts, pointing you inward. They remind you of the deeper qualities you already hold. When you want money, remember, the real desire is for freedom and safety. Can you taste that freedom now, in awareness? even before the money comes. When you want love, remember, the real desire is for connection and intimacy. Can you feel that love now in your own heart, even before someone else appears? When you want success, remember, the real desire is for joy and meaning. Can you touch that joy now, in this breath, before the world applauds? When you begin to recognize this, a shift happens. You no longer chase desperately, you move more lightly. You set goals, but you are not enslaved by them. You love, but you're not afraid of loss. You succeed, but you're not crushed by failure. Because, what you truly want is already here. You are living from fullness, not from emptiness. You are acting from abundance, not from lack. This changes everything. Think of the Sunday. The sun does not shine to get approval. It shines because it is its nature. In the same way, when you live from the awareness of who you are, your actions flow naturally, not as desperate attempts to complete yourself, but as expressions of the completeness already here. Work becomes service. Love becomes giving. Life becomes play. This is the deeper fulfillment that never fades. Of course, the mind will still chase. Old patterns will still whisper, if only I had more, then I would be happy. But now you know how to pause, how to ask, what do I truly want? And in that pause, you will see through the illusion. You will remember that what you want is not outside, it is within. With practice, this remembering becomes natural, like breathing, and slowly, the endless hunger begins to dissolve. This question, what do I truly want, is not one you answer once. It is one you live with, again and again. Each time you ask, the answers deepen. At first you may say, I want peace. Later you may say, I want to serve. Deeper still, you may say, I want to know who I am. And finally, you may realize, what I truly want is what I already am. The question is a mirror reflecting your growth, guiding you back to the self. So let it become your practice. Each morning, ask yourself gently, what do I truly want? Do not rush the answer. Let it rise like a wave. Watch the surface answers, then look beneath them. Over time, you will find the longing softens, the chasing slows, and the presence of awareness grows stronger. And in that presence, you will discover the treasure that no possession, no title, no relationship could ever replace. As we go deeper into the question, what do I truly want? We begin to see that the answer cannot be found on the surface of life alone. The surface will always change, jobs will come and go, relationships will rise and fall, bodies will grow and age, circumstances will shift like weather. If your happiness depends on these, it will always be fragile. But if your happiness is rooted in awareness itself, it becomes unshakable. This is the essence of the second question, to discover a fulfillment that is not at the mercy of change. Think about the way most of us live. We run after one thing after another, believing once I get this, then I will be free. We hold our breath, waiting for life to give us permission to feel peace. But the permission never arrives, because every time we reach the finish line, another line appears in the distance. This endless pursuit is what keeps people anxious, restless, and unsatisfied, no matter how much they achieve. The secret is not to give up life, but to shift the direction of the search. Stop asking, what can I get to complete me? And start asking, what do I already hold that cannot be taken away? When you look deeply, you see that what you truly want is not a thing, but a quality of being. You want love, not because of another person, but because love is your essence. You want freedom, not because of money or status, but because freedom is the nature of awareness itself. You want peace not because of perfect conditions, but because peace is what you are when the mind rests. These qualities are not outside of you, they are within you, waiting to be noticed. The tragedy of human life is not that we lack these qualities, but that we overlook them. Imagine a person wearing a necklace around their neck, searching the entire house for it. They look under the bed, in drawers, behind the couch, growing more frantic by the minute, not realizing the necklace has been on their body all along. This is how most of us live, searching endlessly for what is already here. When you stop, when you pause, when you look inward, you see that the love you long for, the peace you crave, the freedom you desire are already shining within awareness. They do not need to be created, they only need to be recognized. This recognition transforms how you live. You still set goals, but you do not cling to them. You still pursue relationships, but you do not depend on them for your worth. You still work and create, but your joy is no longer chained to outcomes. Instead of chasing life, you begin to flow with it. Instead of grasping at moments, you begin to savor them. Instead of fearing loss, you begin to trust the presence that never leaves. This is the shift from living in lack to living in fullness. Ask yourself now, what is one desire that has been driving me lately? Maybe it is more success, maybe it is deeper love, maybe it is healing from pain. Hold that desire gently in your mind. Then ask, what do I really want through this? What feeling am I chasing? Is it freedom? Is it peace? Is it love? Is it joy? Let the answer rise naturally, and when it does, notice how it feels. Notice that the very act of recognizing it brings you closer to it. That is the power of awareness. It reveals that the qualities you seek are already alive within you. This is why spiritual traditions teach that desires are not enemies, but teachers. Every desire is a messenger, pointing you back to the self. When you want something, ask yourself, what is this really pointing to? At first, you may still chase outward, but as you practice, you begin to see that the essence is always inward. Eventually, you realize that the deepest desire is simply to know yourself, to rest as awareness. Once this recognition grows, the surface desires lose their grip. They may come and go, but they no longer control you. It is important to see that this is not about denying or suppressing desires. To resist a desire is to give it more power. The way forward is to see clearly, to fulfill what can be fulfilled, to let go of what cannot, and to recognize the deeper longing behind them all. When you approach life this way, desires lose their heaviness and become lighter, more playful. You can enjoy them without being enslaved by them. You can let them pass without being broken by them. You discover a freedom that is not the end of desire, but the freedom to dance with desire without losing yourself. So, the next time you feel restless, the next time you feel incomplete, stop, take a breath, and ask, what do I truly want? Let the answers rise layer by layer, from the surface to the depth. And each time you ask, each time you pause, you step closer to the recognition that what you truly want has never left you, because it is who you are. This is the gift of the second question. It breaks the spell of endless chasing. It reminds you that fulfillment is not at the end of the road. It is in the awareness walking the road. It reveals that the treasure you seek is the treasure you carry. And once you see this, the search becomes lighter and life becomes free. The third layer of the question, what do I truly want, reveals itself most clearly when life brings us to moments of crisis. When everything seems to fall apart, when health weakens, when relationships end, when careers collapse, we are forced to look deeper. In those moments, the surface answers lose their power. The car, the house, the title, none of it can comfort you in the middle of heartbreak or illness. And so, the question presses harder, almost painfully, what do I truly want? If you stay with it, if you resist the urge to numb yourself with distractions, you will begin to see the answer with new clarity. At the core, what we truly want is freedom from suffering. Not just temporary relief, but real freedom. We want to live without the constant grip of fear, without the endless chase of desire, without the shadow of regret. We want to taste peace that does not collapse under pressure. We want to know a joy that does not vanish when circumstances shift. This is why people throughout history have turned inward, why they have meditated, prayed, reflected. Because at some point, every human being realizes that nothing external can deliver this freedom. It must be discovered within. And what do we find when we turn inward? We find that suffering arises when we mistake ourselves for what changes. When we cling to the body as me, we suffer when it ages. When we cling to the mind as me, we suffer when thoughts and emotions turn dark. When we cling to circumstances as me, we suffer when they shift. But the moment we see that awareness itself is untouched by these changes, a light appears. We realize, I am not my body, though I have a body. I am not my thoughts, though I experience thoughts. I am not my circumstances, though I live through them. I am the awareness in which they all arise and pass. This recognition is the beginning of freedom. Think of it like the sky. Clouds come and go, storms appear and vanish, but the sky remains open, spacious, untouched. In the same way, awareness remains unbroken, no matter what moves through it. What you truly want is not a perfect cloud, but to recognize yourself as the sky. Then no storm can destroy you. No passing weather can define you. You can enjoy the sun, you can endure the rain, you can watch the winds, all while resting in the certainty that the sky remains. But how do we live this truth in daily life? The practice begins with noticing. Each time you feel suffering, rise, pause, and ask, who is experiencing this? You may say, I am anxious, I'm lonely, I'm afraid. Look closer. The anxiety is a sensation in the body. The loneliness is a thought. The fear is an emotion. All of these appear in awareness. But awareness itself is not anxious, not lonely, not afraid. Awareness is steady, open, present. Even as the storm of experience rages, the ground of being remains untouched. Resting here, you begin to taste the freedom you have been seeking. This does not mean life will stop bringing challenges. The body will still age, the mind will still fluctuate, the world will still change. But suffering shifts from being a prison to being a teacher. Each moment of pain becomes an invitation to return to awareness. Each loss becomes a reminder of impermanence. Each gain becomes a reminder of gratitude. Slowly, you see that freedom is not the absence of pain, but the presence of awareness that can hold pain without breaking. And then something remarkable happens. When you no longer cling to what changes, you can finally enjoy it. You can love without fear, because you know your essence is not bound to loss. You can work without desperation, because you know your value is not tied to achievement. You can rest without guilt, because you know your worth does not depend on constant doing. This is the paradox of freedom. When you stop demanding life to complete you, life becomes more beautiful. So ask yourself again, what do I truly want? Do I want more possessions? Or do I want freedom from clinging? Do I want more recognition? Or do I want freedom from fear? Do I want more control? Or do I want freedom from restlessness? At the core, what you want is not another object, but the release from suffering itself. And that release is possible here, now, by recognizing yourself as awareness. Every great teaching points back to this. Buddha called it the end of craving. The sages of Vedanta called it self-realization. Mystics across traditions called it union with the divine. Different names, one truth. What you truly want is freedom. And that freedom is not in the future, it is in the timeless now, in the awareness that is already awake within you. Stay with this recognition and notice how life begins to shift. Problems still appear, but they lose their sharpness. Desires still rise, but they lose their grip. The heart still longs, but it also rests. Slowly, you discover that the cure for suffering is not in fixing the world, but in seeing who you are beyond the world. And in that discovery, the deepest longing of the human soul is fulfilled. The final layer of the question, what do I truly want, brings us to gratitude. Because gratitude is the natural fragrance of fulfillment. When you discover that what you seek is already within you, when you see that freedom, peace, and love are your true nature, then gratitude arises like a spring that never runs dry. You no longer look at life as something missing, something broken, something incomplete. Instead, you begin to see that each moment, each breath, each experience is already a gift. Gratitude shifts the focus from lack to abundance, from what is absent to what is present, from chasing to receiving. Notice how the mind works when it forgets gratitude. It races toward the next desire, it clings to what it does not have, it resists what it cannot control. This is the root of restlessness, the constant feeling that something is missing. But when you pause and ask, what am I grateful for right now? The restless mind slows. You begin to notice the breath moving in and out, steady and faithful. You notice the body that carries you, imperfect but alive. You notice the presence of awareness itself, unchanging, holding all experience. Gratitude reveals that nothing essential is missing, that even in moments of struggle, life is still offering itself fully, and gratitude deepens your understanding of desire. When you live in gratitude, desires lose their desperation. You can still want, you can still create, you can still enjoy, but you are no longer enslaved. You want from fullness, not from emptiness. You create from joy, not from fear. You love from abundance, not from lack. Gratitude transforms desire into expression, into play, into creativity. It allows you to dance with life rather than grasp at it. Think about it this way. Imagine holding a glass of water. If you focus only on what is missing, you will complain that the glass is half empty. If you focus on what is present, you will celebrate that the glass is half full. Gratitude is the recognition that even a single drop is a miracle. Because behind that drop is the river, behind the river is the rain, behind the rain is the sky, and behind the sky is awareness itself. Gratitude is not about counting blessings like possessions. It is about seeing the sacredness of existence itself. Try this practice now. Close your eyes for a moment and ask, what am I grateful for? Let the answers rise naturally. It might be something simple, the warmth of sunlight, the memory of a smile, the stillness of a quiet room. It might be something profound, the resilience that carried you through suffering, the love that once healed your heart, the awareness that never leaves. Whatever arises, hold it gently and notice how your body responds. Notice the softening in your chest, the quieting of your thoughts, the opening of your breath. This is the power of gratitude. It transforms the quality of your being instantly. And gratitude is not only for the easy moments. Gratitude can even embrace difficulty. You can be grateful for challenges because they push you to grow. You can be grateful for losses because they teach you impermanence. You can be grateful for fear because it points you back to trust. This does not mean denying pain. It means recognizing that even pain has a role in awakening. Gratitude allows you to see life as a teacher, not an enemy, as a process of unfolding, not a punishment. As you live this practice, you discover that gratitude is not something you do occasionally, it becomes a way of seeing. You begin to wake up each morning with a sense of gift. You meet others with a sense of connection. You face obstacles with a sense of trust. Life itself begins to feel sacred. Not because it is perfect, but because you are present. Gratitude is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, between restlessness and peace, between the small self and the self. And here lies the completion of the question, what do I truly want? You want what you already are. You want the freedom of awareness, the love of the heart, the peace of presence. Gratitude seals this recognition because gratitude shifts your attention from chasing the future to receiving the now. And in the now, you discover that everything you longed for is here. You are free, you are whole, you are loved, because you are awareness itself. So let gratitude become your daily practice. Each morning, before the mind begins its chase, ask, what am I grateful for? Each night, before you sleep, reflect, what did I receive today? Let these questions soften your heart, slow your mind, and awaken your spirit. Over time, gratitude will become as natural as breathing, and life itself will shine with new light. This is the answer to the second great question. What do I truly want? I want what I already am. I want to rest in awareness. I want to live in gratitude. And once you see this, the restless search begins to end. And a new kind of living begins, a living rooted in fullness, freedom, and peace. If this exploration has opened something in you, let it stay alive. Do not rush back into old patterns of chasing. Tonight, before you sleep, pause for just a minute and ask yourself gently, what do I truly want? Let the surface answers rise, and then let them fall away until you feel the quiet presence beneath. That presence is your freedom, your peace, your love, and your joy. If you felt even a glimpse of that truth while listening, imagine how much deeper it can grow with